Next up on WTV, the new diversity specialist, this week's edition of Real Talk, and today's Sports Minute. WTV's Daily Update starts now. Hey there, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Friday, October 30th, and I'm Stephanie Qiu with today's Daily Update brought to you by Wingspan TV. Frisco ISD is home to students and staff from dozens of different backgrounds, with more than 70 languages spoken throughout the district. The district has been taking extra steps to uplift the voices and experiences of students and staff. WTV's Kirthi Gumati has the details.
Over the years, the district has transformed from one that is mostly white to one that is now less than 40% white, 31% Asian, 13.5% Hispanic, and 11.2% Black. To help support the changing face of Frisco, the district has hired an equity, diversity, and inclusion specialist.
What she will do, she will work with all different kinds of groups, including students within our district, to address equity and diversity and inclusion needs and issues. We're really excited about that position. I think that's an area that we really have an opportunity to do a lot of really good work in.
The person hired for that position is Dr. Nikki Mouton. Working at many schools in different districts, Mouton is now working with Frisco ISD, with her past experiences playing a large part in why she does what she does.
I grew up an only child to a single parent. And my mother worked for the local college in our town, and her job was to work with underrepresented minority students who came from families where no one had attended college yet. And these students were high school students, and her job essentially was to help them understand how education can help them become college students or, enter into the work sector and essentially become more successful. And just even as a little child, I saw how students who felt as if the system, if you will, had given up on them, actually started to see a light that, wow, this can work for me and I too can be successful.
Mouton is the first equity, diversity, and inclusion specialist the district has had, and she's embracing the possibilities of what her role could be.
What we foresee is happening is this role is going to collaborate with internal and external stakeholders. So that means campus employees, that means district employees, that means community members, that means students, and the like, to ensure that we have an understanding of what are our structures, our resources, our processes, our supports that we have available for all students, so that we make certain that we're not inadvertently leaving some students behind, if you will.
Students play a crucial role in creating an inclusive environment at school.
Students have a major piece in that, because they are our number one customer, right? They're the reason why we're here. And there's no way for us to know and understand the student experience without garnering the student voice. So I'm really, really excited to know that we have students in Frisco ISD who have the forethought and the foresight, if you will, to step back and ask the questions of us. What should our curriculum include, and why doesn't it have more representation from people of color?
While the curriculum does represent people of color, many students can agree that there is always room for improvement.
I think there's always more that we can do to better include people of color, because Frisco ISD especially is just such a diverse district with so much representation of people of color. So I think in the curriculum that needs to be enriched as well. And so I think some certain measures are definitely being taken. But I think that there's always so much more that we can do, and so much more that we can learn about Black history especially. And I think that another important part of it is that it's not just Black and white. There's so many other races that there are. So we should learn more about Hispanic culture, Asian culture. And it's really our responsibility as a district to make sure that kids learn more about people of color and diversity, because it's the future. And if we don't expose them to that now, then it's going to be difficult for them to really for them to really appreciate it in the future, because diversity is the future, and it's so important that more people of color are being treated like they matter, because they do. And the more that we enforce that in schools and get that into kids' mind, the easier it's going to be for them, like in the future, for that to become a reality.
Dr. Mouton believes that when it comes to her work, diversity is more complex than what people tend to believe.
It encompasses so much more. It's race, it's ethnicity, it's mental and physical abilities, it's culture, it's religion, you name it, right? Interest, it's perspectives. And, so the question there is, how do we make sure that we're creating an environment where all of those pieces are not only welcomed, but encouraged and leveraged and valued and used so that we can become better? It's recognizing that not all students need the same type of supports for the success that we want. And so we have to make sure that we're providing differentiated support systems to meet the needs of each of our students, and understanding that students don't fit into these nice little boxes that we just can address with one fell swoop. It's going to take some attention to looking at individual needs and addressing them.
Reporting for WTV, I'm Kirthi Gamadi.
While the district is doing what it can to address diversity and inclusion, some students on campus have started a club that aims to bring people from different backgrounds together. WTV's Alyssa Murphy has the story.
Over the years, Frisco has become a melting pot of different cultures and has implemented educational programs to learn more about the different religions, practices, and identities that fabricate Frisco. Diversify Our Narrative had previously been a club district-wide, but has spread to multiple smaller high school chapters. It is a club on campus with the goal to unify students of different cultures and identities by discussing topics that further each member's education of the complex diversity in the district.
I joined Dawn LHS because I was already in the Frisco chapter of Diversify Our Narrative, and this was kind of our first step into making the Diversify Our Narrative message more widespread throughout each individual school.
President Athena Zhang has high hopes to expand her club even more.
Diversify Our Narrative is a club that is an open space for everyone of all races, genders, sexualities to join, and we're going to have meaningful conversations over those harder topics to talk about in school. And we're also going to watch some media, such as like books, movies, TV shows, or like even music about different cultures and from different cultures in our club, and just really diversify our narrative.
Trying to increase education on underrepresented students in FISD is the goal of the club.
I'm looking forward to meeting everyone who has the same passion as I do for this, and in general it's beneficial to have new ideas and inputs from different people, and I'm also just looking forward to helping our FISD community.
Reporting for WTV, I'm Melissa Murphy.
On this week's edition of Real Talk, WTV's Madigan Gunia asked students about diversity.
Hey Red Hawks, it's WTV's Madigan Gunia with this week's edition of Real Talk. This week we're going to be asking students about diversity. Do you think diversity is important?
Yes, I think diversity is very important.
I think diversity is really important because it kind of strengthens your community and gets you to meet new people and experience new cultures and different traditions.
Do you think our school is diverse?
And I think that Liberty is pretty diverse. At least that's what I've observed over these past couple years.
I think our school is pretty diverse and it's kind of grown over the years.
What can you learn from being in a diverse group of people?
Something that diversity can teach me is in a group of people is learning their customs and traditions and then implementing that into my life, and then also I can teach their my customs and traditions to other people, and they can implement them into their lives.
I think being surrounded by a diverse community, especially Frisco, is really growing into one. I think it's really beneficial to who you are as a person, no matter what race you are. I think it's really helpful to be surrounded by people from different places around the world and such, so I think that strengthens your character and your knowledge on others.
How does diversity affect you?
A way that diversity has impacted me is it's just been very helpful and cool to learn the different cultures and traditions and customs, and like being a more knowledge person, I guess, in that sense.
Both our school and where I work are both super diverse, and the people that I'm around and work with on a day-to-day basis are all from different parts of the world, or their parents are, and so it's really fun and interesting to learn about other people and other cultures, despite our Frisco bubble.
Reporting for WTV, this is Madigan Qiu.
On today's Sports Minute, WTV's TJ Krylowitz brings you a preview of football, volleyball, and cross country.
The district's 9-5A meet was this morning for the cross-country team, but results had not come in at the time today's update was done. The team's last race at Wiley 2 weeks ago was a huge success, as the boys finished third overall with 2 runners in the top 10. On the girls' side, 5 runners ended up with new personal records.
I think our team, we are really encouraging with each other, and we really build each other up. And honestly, we're just going out there to do our best and just to have fun and just work hard.
On the court, volleyball takes on the Wakeland Wolverines tonight. The rivalry is intense as the Redhawks came back from 0-2 to win in 5 sets earlier this year. The Redhawks are 8-3 in District 9-5A, while Wakeland is 6-5. Both teams are on winning streaks, as the Redhawks have won 3 straight and the Wolverines have won 2 straight. The game starts at 5:45 at Wakeland High School. Finally, football will try to prove themselves as they play the 4-0 Frisco Raccoons tonight in an early battle for first place in District 7-5A. The Redhawks are coming off a 63-21 win against Lake Dallas last week and are currently riding a 4-game winning streak. With QB Keldrick Luster and wide receiver Evan Stewart, the Redhawks have soared to #1 offense in the district. But their offense will be challenged tonight as their opponent, the Frisco Raccoons, are ranked 5th overall in the Dallas Morning News 5A rankings, which is the highest in Frisco ISD. A main part of Frisco's success has been their defense, as through 4 games they have only allowed 32 points. Notable wins for Frisco have been against teams like Lebanon Trail and Reedy. Reedy, a team the Redhawks lost to, was shut out by the Raccoons 31-0 in Week 2.
I think we want to slow down their offense, let our offense go to work, because, our offense is high-powered, and just let our offense score as much as possible.
The Redhawks offense will try to prove themselves tonight against Frisco's defense at 7 at Toyota Stadium. Reporting for WTV, this is TJ Krylowitz.
If you are looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. And now for today's announcements. Liberty Stuco is hosting a food drive. All food items must be turned in by Friday, November 20th, and will be donated to Frisco Family Services. Amazon links will be posted around the school with the items needed for donation. Alternate brands of items are acceptable. Unleash your creative potential. The Reflections 2020 to 2021 program hosted by the PTSA is here. This year's theme is I Matter Because. Entries must be submitted by Monday, November 2nd. For more information, visit the PTSA website at libertyhsptsa.org/home. Liberty Cheer is hosting a wreath fundraiser. All proceeds fund UIL cheer activities and senior scholarships. Wreath sales will be from October 26th to November 29th. For more information, email letsgoredhawks@gmail.com. UNICEF is hosting a virtual fundraiser. You can donate through GoFundMe, and all donations go to UNICEF USA. The fundraiser ends November 15th, and you can donate to the link below. That's it for today's daily update. This is Stephanie Qiu for Wingspan TV.